Hey, how's it going, everyone? My name's Jake. I wanted to give a reaction video on UFC 247, John Jones versus Dominic Reyes. It's just a really forgettable card. Other than the fact that they were on the main card only, I was working too late to see any of the prelims, but other than the fact that there were three shitty decisions and five fights, and the other two were just were finishes, so they didn't have a chance to be terrible decisions. Um, it was in Houston. If I remember correctly, Texas has had problems with their commission through like drugs, different stuff like that. Whatever, I don't think you should have a big fight like this. Uh, you know, the pound for pound guy at somewhere like Houston. It should be, ESPN on down, ESPN Plus. But besides the point, we'll get into the first fight. It was Derek Lewis versus Ilir Latifi. Um, I don't I don't know how I see Ilir Latifi. I need to get maybe it was a weird matchup. The guy's low output, large guy against this, like one of the smallest guys in the division. Ilir Latifi is definitely holding about 50 more pounds in his midsection. It felt like, but he still looks strong as an ox. First round, Derek Lewis, the only one that did anything. The second round, Ilir Latifi switched up from shooting in on the hips to clinching, getting some nice trip takedowns. Knocked him on his back with a little like trip at one point. Third round, I had for Ilir Latifi as well, and I thought that the blast double he did, um, just alone, was more than the little flurries from Derek Lewis at the end. I don't think a lot of them connected. A lot of them seemed to be off the elbows, into the chest. But, whatever. It was in Houston. He's a hometown boy. So, in fact, I think there was like a video of him predicting a controversial decision. So, that's kind of funny. Um, Next fight in the card was probably the best fight on the main card. Mirsad Bektic versus Dan Ige. Unfortunately, wasn't so much the decision. It could have went either way, but the referee interference in the third round. It was 1-1. Mirsad Bektic was in on a takedown, single leg, I believe. Yeah, he was in a single leg, and the leg lifted. I only saw it the one time, so you have to bear with me on that. But yeah, the leg lifted, and they like stopped the momentum while they're up against the cage. But he was like continuing a takedown, and I wrestled my whole life. Anyone that's wrestled, I mean, anyone would be pretty upset about that. That was not like stalemate position, in my opinion. But after that, Dan Ige came alive and just started lighting him up for about a minute and a half. If I remember correctly, he got taken down again. There's a lot of scrambles to get, stand ups, and then he was taking him back down. That's how I remember the. Oh, yeah, the fight ended maybe like a heel hook situation, almost like a 50-50. Um, but yeah, I thought Mirsad Bektic did enough in the grappling exchanges in the last round to get it. But, a good fight on both of them either way. They're both tough guys. Anyways, moving on. Juan Adams versus Justin Taffa. So, mustached Mark Hunt, pretty much, versus just who cares, 5-2 Dana White Contender Series guy or something like that, or looking for a fight. I don't even know. Um, Forgettable fight. People are gonna remember it when they're thinking about Mark Hunt. They're just gonna kind of hate the two fights or the two fighters together. I'm thinking, and Juan Adams can go have his big afro in his next fight like he wears, and people probably won't even remember he got knocked out in the last one. So, in my opinion, we'll see with Justin Taffa. I don't think Juan Adams is UFC caliber, but you go to like Bellator, see how he does in their heavyweight division. Fight after that was the bantamweight title fight: Shevchenko versus Caitlin Chikagian. Uh, Boring fight. I just everyone thinks of Shevchenko as a killer, and I mean, I just see her as more just beats these people on decisions generally. She does knock out these girls. I just think that there's so many steps behind her in terms of technique and probably just athleticism. Their builds just look totally different. They're just it's just two different leagues. Yeah, she finished her maybe third round if I remember correctly, and uh, I don't know. I was kind of tuned out, to be honest, but it was just kind of handedly Shevchenko. And then the fight why I wanted to do this, the controversy of the John Jones versus Dominic Reyes decision, where they had John Jones up 3-2 on two of the scorecards and 4-1 on one of them. Any of the scorecards, to be honest, as soon as they read out the scorecards, I was like, oh my god, he won, and then but that's a that's a John Jones fight for you. I thought he lost the last fight against Thiago Santos, but it reminded me, is very reminiscent of Gustafsson. Only at the end there wasn't that fear that Gus might get stopped. I think people are. I probably had, if I scored it just right then and there, I probably had Dominic Reyes winning the fourth round. I mean, I could see John Jones winning it if I watched it again. I'm sure I'd probably side more in that, a little more objective. But I thought it was a close fight, uh, in between, or a close round either way. In the fifth round, I think a little revision history on it because I don't think that Dominic Reyes really anything in it, but I don't think he was blown out of the water. He was about to get finished. Striking totals are about as similar as round two. I think it was like 8 strike differential. So yeah, I feel like it was a robbery. I don't think if Dominic Reyes was fighting, you know, uh, Corey Anderson, and it's the exact same fight, that it would have went that way. But if you guys like me doing something like this, tune in. I think I'm just gonna do some on just kind of random fights if there's some controversial aspect to it, or I really like the fighter, or big fights. From here, I wonder if we're gonna have Corey Anderson versus John Jones. I don't really cares to see, but I mean, I'm not really excited to watch John Jones versus Dominic Reyes either. I'm not super excited to see John Jones anymore like that. Can't stand the fact that Corey Anderson like robbed us of that one last fight with Johnny Walker. This might be it. So I honestly, I don't care if he goes up to heavyweight or light heavyweight. It's just he does seem like he's slowing down. Um, I wonder if he's maybe not testing anymore for the I think in the next few fights we'll probably see Jones dethroned. It's just tough because I don't think there's that tough of competition. It was an old division, and it's just now kind of coming back. I think in the next 3-4 years, it'll be a